Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome here to the Nation Network. Tony Schiavone, along with Stu Mayhem, and tonight we bring you the Clash of the Champions. The WCW, the roster is here. They are ready to go live from Hershey, Pennsylvania. This is the Clash of the Champions. Good evening, wrestling fans, and we want to welcome you live here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. This is the Clash of the Champions in our opening contest. A couple of gentlemen that need no introduction whatsoever. From Bad Street, USA.
The following contest is an elimination tornado tag team match. Making his way to the ring at a combined weight of 488 pounds, Michael P.S. Hayes and Jimmy Gavin, the Fabulous Freebirds.
Well, there you have it, the Fabulous Freebirds. This is going to be one heck of a match, and there's no title involved in this one, ladies and gentlemen, but boy, oh boy. There are going to be three teams. There are going to be tables, and there will be eliminations, and those eliminations will take place when any member of a team is put through a table.
Well, this is gonna be one for the books, no doubt about it. We gotta look at the second team involved in this one.
And his opponent, first, from Berlin, Germany, weighing in at 225 pounds, Wonder Kid Alex Wright.
That's Wonder Kid Alex Wright making his way to the ring. Some of the new up-and-coming talent here in the WCW, and he has recently formed a tag team that has had mild success here in the WCW, but this will go a long way for them if they can come out on top of this one.
I'll be a little surprised, to be honest with you. I think there's too much size and experience in this match for this, but it could happen.
Well, here comes his tag team partner. Getting a bit of a mixed reaction from the crowd here tonight. Well, it's a new look for...
First, from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 238 pounds, Dino Gilberto.
The Disco Inferno making his way down to the ring. A throwback to the 70s.
Well, I'll tell you, there are a lot of us here with some fond memories of that time frame. I don't mind telling you. And the thought of ever seeing John Travolta in a wrestling ring, well, if you never thought you'd see it, this is about as close as you'll get.
I gotta admit, there's a lot of fans dancing in the stands right now, and I'm sure some of you at home are doing the same thing. And here comes our final entrant into this match.
And his opponent, first, at a combined weight of 548 pounds, Buck R.T. and Steve E. Ray Harlem Heat.
Booker T and Stevie Ray Harlem Heat, they are one of the absolute top tag teams here in the World Championship Wrestling. They've made it clear they want those tag team titles. All three of these teams have made it clear that they want the tag team titles, but only one can ever hold them at one time. And right now, that will be what is up on the line later on tonight, as we see Doom, the tag team champions, defend their titles later on against the Steiner brothers in what should be a tremendous matchup. The former tag team champions getting their opportunity. All right, this one's underway. All 6 men are legal. And until people get put through tables, and already he did not break the table.
Somehow their table didn't break, otherwise that would have been a very quick elimination for the Disco Inferno. And automatically by association, his tag team partner, Alex Wright.
Well, Dos Wonderkin very fortunate. I'm not even sure he understands how close he came to be eliminated in the first 3 seconds of the match. How that table did not break is beyond me. It collapsed, but it must break. Now we've got action going on inside the ring. We've got action outside the ring. I believe that is Stevie Ray outside the ring with Alex Wright. Meantime, we see the Disco Inferno going to work on Michael Hayes on the floor. And by elimination, that means it's Booker T and Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin going at it inside the ring. There is a table set up. Can either one of these men use it? That is what we'll have to find out. Garvin has him against the table, rams him head first into it.
Now both members of Harlem Heat are in the ring, and hell, actually all 6 men about to be in the ring for the first time since the opening bell.
Oh my God, what just happened to Disco? We may need medical attention for him. He slipped off the top rope, struck his head on the apron.
That was a tremendous fall he just took. I don't know what happened there.
Somehow he's able to continue. Shane to make Foley. Well, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Clash of the Champions. It is one of the big marquee events here for WCW, and this is where these guys all come to be seen. Anyone who's anyone in WCW will want to be a part of the Clash of the Champions. That's where all the big names are. And you don't want a W, or you don't want an L in the loss column when you're playing here on Clash of the Champions. I can tell you that for sure. Das Wonderkid, in the meantime, just took over one half of Harlem Heat. Face first now by Disco Inferno on the other.
We've got a lot of action right now going on in this ring. And I believe that was Stevie Ray just ran into the table, or maybe it was Booker T. We don't have a good view from here, and it was. Stevie Ray has been busted wide open. He is spewing blood right now. Alex Wright, I believe, earlier dropped a knee that may have busted him open.
Well, of all things that I would not have predicted to see here tonight, it is Alex Wright drawing blood on Stevie Ray. The Harlem Heat going for that suplex. If he could have angled him over towards the table, might have had an elimination.
And if frogs had wings, their butts wouldn't hit the ground when they hop, but they don't.
Fans, we have a very special guest that will be joining us here in the broadcast booth later on this evening. We invite you all to stay tuned for that. And somebody that you will all be very familiar with here on a very special night of professional wrestling at WCW. Head first into that table he goes, and now Stevie Ray in trouble. Look at this. Oh, through the table he's gone. Harlem Heat, the first team eliminated. Can you believe it?
Oh, but Booker T's not going to leave without getting in a few last licks right there.
Now I'm confused. I thought both members are supposed to be gone.
Well, Booker T seems to be confused as well. And you're right, I thought it meant that both members of the team are eliminated, but perhaps Booker T didn't get the memo.
Well, unless there was a changing of the rules somewhere. Now it appears that both members of a team have to be eliminated. That wasn't what we were originally told. As we see gorgeous Jimmy Garvin setting up another table in the corner. And now Booker T carrying the full weight. Head first into the steel chair goes gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
Tables coming out from everywhere.
Well, this was a match that was concocted by the Harlem Heat. This is their version of a street fight. Of course, Michael Hayes, Jimmy Jam Garvin had no problem accepting their challenge.
Well, according to Michael Hayes, if you can walk down Bad Street, then Harlem is nothing. And the Harlem Heat didn't really like that too much. So they said, all right, well, why don't we do one of our style of matches and see how you do.
Oh, now we've got another one. Alex Wright been busted open.
Jimmy Garvin just took Booker T all the way across the ring with that arm drag. And if that table had still been set up, he probably would have been eliminated.
Into the table goes the Disco Inferno. Now Michael Hayes. What's he going to do? He's got it up. Oh, my goodness. He just powerbombed him through the table. The Disco Inferno is gone. Boy, oh boy, the carnage here in the ring. Jimmy Garvin fighting his way out of that one. Disco Inferno just now getting up from the impact he took, being powerbombed through that table in the corner. Right now, the Freebirds have the advantage. They are the only team that has got both members still active in the match.
Yeah, with that in mind, you would think Booker T and Alex Wright might want to work together here, at least to take one of them out.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Das Wonderkin setting up that table in the corner. Michael Hayes, a bloody mess. Head first into the... Well, I beg your pardon, it looked like he was bleeding for a moment there. And now Hayes with a headbutt. Das Wonderkin stunned for the moment. He's got Michael Hayes. Oh, and he pulled him through the table.
Well, now it is one member of each team remaining here.
We're going to have to go to a furniture warehouse store real quickly here and get more tables at the rate this one's going. Jimmy Garvin from the top rope. Measuring Booker T. Oh my goodness, went for the crossbody, nobody home.
Big roundhouse right to the head of Booker T.
Garvin tried getting that table up. Couldn't do it. Now, Das Wonderkin, Alex Wright stepping in. Oh, face first, Booker T down on the apron, and he's hurt.
Oh, blood is flowing down the face of Booker T now.
The only one in this match right now not hemorrhaging blood is gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, and you know he wants to keep it that way. Garvin now using that table as a weapon, and that's perfectly legal in this match. This is a Harlem street fight, ladies and gentlemen, by invitation only.
Well, that's one thing I would not need an invitation to. I'll thank you very much. Jimmy Garvin smartly waiting outside the ring. Let these two guys go at it. But, man, the blood flowing down both of these men's heads right now.
Alex Wright thought he was going to get away with it, and he almost did. Now Garvin stepping in. Why? I don't know. Might have been smarter to let him finish off Alex Wright and go one-on-one.
And again, Jimmy Garvin outside the ring. He just gets a couple of shots in and then steps out.
May have just saved the day for Disco Inferno and Alex Wright. It looked like Booker T was getting ready to put this one away. Devastating backhand knife edge chop to the chest. You see the effects it's had on Booker T. Now Booker T, headbutt to headbutt. Both of these men with gaping wounds. Not going to get any better with moves like that, as Jimmy Garvin still watching from a safe distance. The smartest man in the ring right now is the one outside the ring.
Yeah, he's doing everything right. Let these two guys tear each other apart and then watch from the safety of ringside.
Oh, Booker T now lines him up with a big chop to the chest, lining him up. These two guys really going at it back and forth, and drops him with a DDT. Now Booker T setting up the table. What's he got in mind?
Well, thus far we've seen everything go through the corners, but right now perhaps Booker T's got something else he wants to do here.
Alex Wright on the table. Booker T's got him up. Oh, there it is. The bookend. Right through the table. Now Jimmy Garvin. Well rested and ready for action.
We're going to see if the strategy plays out the way I think it will.
And now Garvin coming over towards the announce table, gets a hold of a table, puts it in the ring. The way it should have been, the Freebirds. This is all about gang warfare now. You've got Bad Street against Harlem. Atlanta, Georgia. Being represented right here by the favorite sons of Bad Street, USA. And now Garvin lighting him up. Stevie Ray in trouble. Oh, again with a big devastating chops, and he collapses to the ring. Which of these two men will it be?
Garvin has him.
Jimmy Garvin puts him through the table.
Eliminated.
This is a hell of an opening match, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the amount of chaos that we saw in this one, I don't know how you can even call it all.
We saw some tremendous bumps in this one. Flying over the top rope, through the top ropes.
Here are your winners, Michael P.S. Tate and Jimmy Gavin, the Fabulous Freebirds.
Strengthening their claim that they should be the tag team champions right here tonight. The Fabulous Freebirds, Jimmy Garvin and Michael PSA's kicking things off. Fans will be back with plenty more action right here as part of the Clash of the Champions. Stay with us. All right, fans are back, and the challenger for the world title later tonight, the total package, Lex Luger in the ring.
This is the Clash of the Champions. Everyone who's anyone in WCW is here tonight. Because this is the biggest spotlight in professional wrestling, bar none. When you look at the names that will appear here tonight, whether you want to talk about Ric Flair, whether you want to talk about the Steiners, whether you want to talk about Doom, one name that will not appear tonight, and that is Sting. Sting, what I did to you the other night had nothing to do with you. It was about sending a message, and that message was to you, Ric Flair. See, later tonight, Ric Flair, you're going to put that title on the line against the total package. And you think you're going to walk out of here as the champion. Well, let me tell you something. I have spent a lot of months waiting for this. Waiting for the opportunity to get that title back around my waist where it belongs. There's no longer any horseman to protect you. You saw what I did to Sting, and he was my best friend. Later tonight, what do you think I'm going to do to you?
Oh, the total package. And Ric Flair for the world title later tonight. Special guest when we return. All right, wrestling fans. Back with more Clash of the Champions.
On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 583 pounds, Terry Georgie and Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Dr. Death Steve Williams, Bam Bam Terry Gordy. Two of the biggest, toughest guys you'll ever see inside of a wrestling ring.
No doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. We promised you we had a special guest, and we do, on loan from the World Wrestling Federation here tonight. Joining us for just a few moments, Jesse Lamani Ventura. And Jess, tonight we say goodbye to a legendary friend in Mean Gene Okerlund. I know you have a lot of history with him, as we all do.
Yeah, well, you know what? I was happy that I was able to get here tonight for a little while. I've been watching the action, and it has been really, really good. We'll give these guys their introduction, and then we can continue from there.
And their opponents. First, from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 232 pounds, Dustin Rhodes.
He's the son of a son and the son of a gun.
Natural Dustin Rhodes in the ring. The son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and his tag team partner have been really on fire as of late. Can they continue it? As we can see, the tag team division here in WCW is second to none.
From Texas, weighing in at 237 pounds, Barry Windham.
And Barry Windham making his way to the ring as well. All right, Jess, again, hearts are heavy this evening as we talk about Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah, again, me and Mean Gene go way back, and we've been together for so many different events, the Saturday night main events, the pay-per-views, you name it, we've done it. And we had a love-hate relationship sometimes on the microphone, but that can happen. But at the end of the day, I really, really respect what he's done. And I'm happy to be a part of the Nation Network where his thoughts and his aura will continue on, especially on the WWF programming here.
Indeed it is, and tonight is one of those nights where both organizations decide to come together and pay tribute to a true legend in professional wrestling in Mean Gene Okerlund. Clearly the inspiration behind Mean Scheme on our WWF broadcast team.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you right now, the next time we get to work together, it'll be something special.
I have no doubt about that. Thank you so much for joining us here and sharing some of your memories, and we look forward to seeing your continued efforts here on the Nation Network.
Thank you very much for having me. Enjoy the rest of the night. I know I sure will.
All right, there he goes. Jesse the Body Ventura making a special appearance here at Clash of the Champions. Barry Windham now going to work with Bam Bam Terry Gordy, and I'll tell you right now, when you look at the team of Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Bam Bam Terry Gordy, these are a couple of monster men in that ring.
No doubt about it, but I'll tell you right now, these tough Texans and Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes, more than up to that challenge.
All the way up to the ring now goes Bam Bam Terry Gordy. This is the Clash of the Champions. We have titles on the line, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. We know about the world champion Ric Flair going up against the total package Lex Luger. Beautiful Bobby will be defending the WCW World Television title here tonight against Stunning Steve Austin, representing the Dangerous Alliance. Head first into the steel post he goes.
Not only that, but we have that big cruiserweight match everyone's been talking about.
Referee's count is up to 7. And Barry Windham being run into the ring apron. 2K cannot get the AI to understand that Dustin has to move. And it's going to be a count-out victory for Bam Bam, Terry Gordy, and Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
Well, I don't know if that's the way either of these teams wanted this one to go, but as we mentioned, the AI, not to I.
Times may change, but certain things will always remain when it comes to the world of 2K Sports. All right, fans, it's a count-out victory.
Your winners, Terry Georgie and Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Not the way they wanted it, perhaps, but that's the way they get it. And it's a win in the column at the end of the day. We'll be back with more Clash of the Champions when we return. All right, welcome back, fans. This next one is a grudge match in every sense of the word.
Making his way to the ring from Belfast, Northern Ireland, weighing in at 233 pounds, the Reigns.
No holds barred. Last week on Worldwide, we saw what happened. Finley made his way towards the ring for a match when he was attacked viciously by Steven Regal. These two men, no love for one another, and they are letting it all hang out.
Well, tonight it's no holds barred, which means they can really do whatever they want to do.
These are a couple of men who know how to fight.
From Blackpool, England, weighing in at 243 pounds, Stephen Regal.
Not sure what's going on in the back with the audio system right now. It sounds like they are doubling down on the music.
Well, 2K's done that before. Sounds like Barry Windham's music from earlier playing on top of Steven Regal's, but that's just part of the charm of 2K. Sometimes they just want to give you that little extra. All right, here we go, wasting no time at all. Finley going to work on Regal, but Regal kicking out. These two men are not going to hold back. It's anything goes, no holds barred. And I expect this one to get pretty mean and nasty before it's all said and done.
Finley right there, just hopping right back up and getting in the face of Steven Regal. He's got some animosity left over, I'm sure, from Worldwide last week.
Indeed he does, and I believe he feels that that may have something to do with why he lost that match and feels that Regal cost it. Well, now he's coming back, and he's going to try and do everything he can to avenge that right here tonight as part of Clash of the Champions. From a deadlift, he gets him up and power slams him down into the canvas. What a move right there, but Regal fighting his way back.
You know, the funny thing is, both of these men very capable of just wrestling one another.
They are two of the top talents inside the squared circle, no doubt about it. They are both wrestling experts. And now Regal, the first man to get thrown out to the floor, and it's all legal out here. Oh, he just hurled him into the ring. Finley unleashing a barrage. Regal trying to fight his way back. And Finley rams him head first. There are no countouts. There are no disqualifications.
Well, I'm a little surprised that nobody grabbed any kind of weapons. There are chairs. God knows what's under the ring.
Oh, pile driver, and he stuck him with it. That should be all.
It could be all, but I don't think he wants it to end yet.
Sit down powerbomb. Regal in all kinds of trouble right now. Another deadlift. Sit down powerbomb, driving the life right out of the body of Steven Regal. Finley really paying him back in spades for what happened at Worldwide. Manhandling Steven Regal. And now goes for the cover. There are no rope breaks.
Regal somehow able to kick out on one, and I'm surprised to see that at this point in the match because he has been brutalized.
Well, there's an old saying that revenge is a dish best served warm, and believe me, they are doing it right now. Finley just measuring Steven Regal. Down across the knee he goes.
His leg was contorted there as well. He may have come down awkwardly on that. We'll keep an eye on it.
And now Regal trying to hang on to him with a head scissor. Couldn't even do that. What a move right there. Oh my goodness, that's a jawbreaker. Regal's out. And it's over. I've got to admit, I'm a little surprised we didn't see any outside interference with chairs and things of that nature, but Regal just got beat up. And now Finley, oh, wait a minute. Finley not finished yet.
Finley is not finished yet as he drives the head of Regal into the apron one more time.
And now sends Regal into the steel steps. We may need medical attention. Fans, we'll be back. All right, fans, it is time for the WCW Tag Team Championship match. Here are the former Tag Team Champions, Rick and Scott, the Steiner Brothers.
Oh, the Steiner Brothers, one of the elite tag teams in the world today, and they are set on getting those titles back here tonight.
It won't be easy, however. Doom, no matter who they've gone up against in recent weeks, has always found a way. And tonight they are complete. Woman has made it here to ringside.
Well, they've managed to get it done when she was absent as well, which really says a lot about the team.
Ron Simmons, All-American, standout, University of Florida. Florida State Seminoles. Hacksaw Butch Reed, these two men together have proven that they are by far the team to beat here in WCW. It was just a few weeks ago, Sting and Lex Luger came up short in a battle with them.
Steiner on the way to the ring at a combined weight of 519 pounds. Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner, the Steiner brothers.
On their way to the ring, God bless her.
Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, and their opponents at a combined weight of 550 pounds. They are the WCW World Tag Team Champions, Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
You know, fans, we don't like to air our dirty laundry here on the air, but the truth of the matter is she has a drinking problem.
Yeah, just wait till she introduces Paulie Dangerously. Ho, ho.
All right, the tag team titles. Titles are on the line here, oh boy. Ron Simmons starting things off with Rick Steiner. Fans, I was just told that we are going to have a very special edition of the Ringside Report right after the Clash of the Champions, so stick around for that. It'll be an open forum event as Rick Steiner dropping the leg right down. Oh, wait a minute, too close to the corner, and now Butch Reed holding him back, giving Ron Simmons an opportunity to not only get back up, but perhaps a double team on Rick Steiner. Wow, he just shoved him down to the canvas.
Well, to shove around a member of the Steiner brothers is no easy task, but Ron Simmons made it look easy. Rick Steiner went in for either a slam, perhaps, or a suplex, and couldn't get it done because I'll tell you right now, this team of doom, they are absolutely awe-inspiring.
Well, the Steiners, no strangers to doom. That's why they are no longer the tag team champions. They know exactly how much devastation can come and will come when you get in the ring with these two men. What we're looking forward to tonight is to see what they learned from that experience and if they've made the necessary adjustments to be victorious here.
Well, I'm not so sure as I see Scott Steiner tagged in, and rather than go to work, he decides to play to the fans, and that's a mistake.
Went for the drop kick, nobody was home, and now Ron Simmons fall away, slam. Tag is made, here comes Butch Reed. And now Steiner attacking the leg, down he goes. Woman outside the ring watching very carefully with that concerned look right now. And there it is. That's what I was expecting right there. The distraction.
Well, she times it better than anyone I've ever seen. And now Butch Reed taking advantage of that distraction.
Well, definitely gave him an opportunity to get some blows in. On Scott Steiner, a back body drop, and Steiner just got taken down. Fans, we hope everybody had a very happy and safe new year. We thank you once again for your continued support right here on the Nation Network. Boots in the midsection. Goes for the DDT, but Scott Steiner decides not to. And now, Butch Reed is in the wrong part of town. There's a tag made, and the Steiners can do a lot of damage. What is happening here?
Wow, tremendous moves right there, working on the shoulder and the arm. The Steiner brothers are poetry in motion when they get that tag team bug going.
Well, they are really targeting that shoulder right now. And Butch Reed, perhaps they know something we don't. Butch Reed out of desperation with an arm drag, taking him all the way over. And now Rick Steiner, back body drop, sends him all the way down to the mat. Reed wanted desperately to make the tag, and now he'll get that opportunity, and I'm pretty sure a woman was the one telling him, get out. Those tag team titles on the line. She does not want to see them leave. Ron Simmons has him up in the air. Oh, what a powerbomb. Oh, my goodness. And now it's Rick Steiner with a desperation tag made, and here comes Steiner. Scott Steiner, I beg your pardon. Steiner line takes him down. Scotty now has him up for a suplex. Oh, there it is. Devastating move, the Steiner driver.
And again, woman up on the apron trying to distract the referee.
Frankensteiner hooks the leg. But the referee was distracted. Otherwise, we might have had new tag team champions right here.
Woman's going to do everything in her power to make sure that they maintain those tag team titles.
And there's the tag made to Butch Reed. Reed got caught after a couple of big clotheslines, and now Steiner staring him down the corner. Hurricane Rana. Frankensteiner.
There's a steel chair in the ring somehow. I'm not sure how it got there.
Oh, we almost have new tag team champions crowned right here. Hershey, Pennsylvania on its feet. Right into the back elbow. He walked right into it. And now Steiner brings him over to his corner. Head first to the turnbuckle he goes.
Butch Reed survives just barely.
Big splash down across the body. Referee throws the chair outside the ring. He almost hit Woman with it.
Might have been some poetry in that just because she was the one that threw it in.
Nice move right there by Scott Steiner to reverse the offense. Back to his own corner, and there's going to be a tag, I believe. Yes, there it is. Now Rick Steiner, the fresh man in the ring. Watching Butch Reed try desperately to make his way over. And again, they continue to focus on that shoulder.
Not sure what the book says on this, but they must know something. They are targeting Butch Reed and that left arm almost exclusively here tonight.
Now to the corner we go, and now Rick Steiner. He's got him, rolls him up. What a bridge right there, he's got him. And again, the distraction. Overhead belly to belly. Ron Simmons just got taken out, and Woman is distracting the referee again.
Well, at some point, this referee is going to have to gain control of this situation.
Bulldog hooks the leg. Will that be it? New tag team champions right here. Yeah, no.
He just barely got that shoulder off the mat. I thought it was over.
Fans, I'll tell you right now, this is as good as it gets. These two teams letting it all hang out, and if it weren't for Woman, we'd have new tag team champions.
I believe you're right, and I would agree with that statement. But the Steiner brothers knew coming in what they were dealing with.
Now clamping down on the shoulder. Ron Simmons. Into the turnbuckle he goes. Walks right into a back elbow, and there's a clothesline. Has him lifted up. Oh, going to the eye. Steiner breaking that hold by going to the eyes of Butch Reed.
Oh, you can't hardly blame them. I mean, they're going up against not only Doom, but now Woman interjecting herself non-stop into the match.
And Rick Steiner puts him up on the top rope. From the middle rope, Steiner, gut wrench. Suplex him out to the middle of the ring, and again, Woman is up there. Come on, referee, do something about this. Rick Steiner trying to fire up this crowd. Steiner line. And another. To the ropes. Tremendous Steiner line. I don't know if there's any way that Doom is going to be able to maintain those tag team titles much longer, because the Steiners are really hitting them with everything they've got. And if not for Woman, it would be over.
Butch Reed's got him, though. Just when you think they're done, they come up with that.
Military press slam, and Rick Steiner's down. Referee counting the shoulder. Save is made by Scott.
Therein lies the advantage, however. They've got tag team partners that can break things up, but they also have Woman.
Another military press into a sit-out slam. And Rick Steiner is in trouble. He is dead weight in the ring right now. Down, hook in the leg. Will that be enough? He's got two, and got him. Once again, Doom finds a way somehow to walk away with the win. Look at this.
That Steiner driver, one of the most lethal moves you will ever see. The Frankensteiner had him beat right here as far as I'm concerned.
Well, at the end of the day, Woman was the deciding factor in this one. Right there it was. He had him. He had him. You can clearly see it was over 3 seconds long. You have to wonder, though, if the Steiner brothers haven't eclipsed
Here are your winners.
the opportunity.
Still WCW World Tag Team Champions, Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
Well, the opportunity for a tag team title return match may be over now for the Steiners. We'll see as it weeks and months go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more Clash of the Champions right after this.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WCW World Television Championship.
All right, fans. World Television title on the line. Here comes the challenger. Representing the Dangerous Alliance, Steve Austin. Stunning Steve Austin with Paulie Dangerously. It was originally supposed to be Sting. However, after what happened at the hands of Lex Luger 2 days ago on WCW Worldwide, Sting unable to compete here at Clash of the Champions. And you know, one thing that Luger said earlier, and it is true, is that anyone who's anyone on the roster of WCW wants to be showcased right here on Clash of the Champions. We are wishing Sting a speedy recovery. As we take a look at the challenger. Here comes your champion. Formerly one half of the Midnight Express, now going it alone. Beautiful Bobby Eaton, and he has had some success. He took that title away from Arn Anderson and has maintained it ever since. This may be one of the biggest challenges, though, he has had for that title yet.
Now, I would agree with that very much. Stunning Steve Austin, his star is on the rise here in WCW. And he'd love to add that title right there to his collection of past accomplishments.
Introducing the challenger from Victoria, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, Stunning Steve Austin.
Well, the bright side is she won't have to announce Paulie Dangerously. Lee.
Introducing the champion from Huntsville, Alabama, weighing in at 240 pounds. He is the WCW World Television Champion. Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
And here he is, beautiful Bobby, the champion. It has been really good to see the continued success he has had in his career here in the WCW since going in alone. I asked him earlier if he would ever consider getting back into a tag team, and he said if it was right, then he would do it. But right now, he's enjoying being the television champion. He's enjoying the singles competition, and it'll probably make him a much better, well-rounded wrestler at the end of the day. All right, television time limit match, 10 minutes. Austin wasting no time whatsoever. Spine buster on Eaton, and now a leg drag by beautiful Bobby.
Oh, that's the thing about the TV title. You have that television time limit, 10 minutes to get the job done. And when you're the challenger, that means that you really have to step your game up and you got to make it happen quickly.
Belly to back suplex, nicely done by beautiful Bobby. Paulie Dangerously looking on, and right now he's not too happy with what he's seeing. Now Stunning Steve Austin sends him to the rope, drop down, nicely done, back out front, caught him! And Eaton says, I don't think so.
Well, Stunning Steve Austin on the receiving end right now. If he does get the opportunity and he can get Eaton up near the ropes, he has that tremendous finishing move. He uses that stun gun.
Well, of course, beautiful Bobby's got a variety of different things he'll go to town on you with, but if he hits the Alabama leg jam, that normally ends the match. Eaton now sending him into the turnbuckle, follows up with a clothesline. Hooks the leg. Referee's in position and only a 1 count.
Well, by the same token, while Bobby Eaton can still be the champion in a 10-minute draw, he wants a victory, and he's got to get it done within 10 minutes just the same.
That's true, but again, the odds-on favorite has to be the television champion because you add that time limit to the fact that a count-out or disqualification will keep the champion with his title. It's really tough to dethrone a television champion, especially one the stature of beautiful Bobby Eaton. Clotheslines him into the corner now. Oh, wait a minute, Paul Lee. We see him now distracting it now. Look at this. Stunning Steve Austin taking advantage.
There is the advantage right there to be had and seen. Bobby Eaton no longer has Jim Cornette in his corner.
Nice cross ankle sweep by Eaton to get back up into it. He is going to be at a disadvantage when it comes to that. Eaton went for the leg, but Austin was ready for it. And now there's that Thesz press. Austin hammering down on the champion. 7 minutes remaining in the time limit. Beautiful Bobby winding up the arm, and he's using the ropes.
He was using those ropes for a moment.
Austin now, this could be the time. He's going to go for it here. Hot shot, and Eaton may be done. We may have a new television champion. Paulie dangerously likes what he sees. 2, and no, shoulder comes up off the mat.
Austin is stunned himself right now. He can't believe that Eaton's kicked out.
But the challenger right now in control of the champion. Shot to the midsection by beautiful Bobby. Overhand right, and Austin is rocked. Eaton bringing him all the way over to the turnbuckle head first. Ramming the head of stunning Steve Austin into the turnbuckle. And down goes the challenger.
And once again, Paul Lee dangerously distracting the champion. He's got to let that go.
Once again, Austin taking advantage with that belly to back suplex. Tremendous clothesline. And stunning Steve Austin in control right now. A third clothesline. Just over 5 minutes remaining. And the champion is in all kinds of trouble. Austin hammering down with those fists of fury. He hooks the leg. Will that be enough? 1, 2. We have a new television champion, fans.
Unbelievable. Bobby Eaton really was outnumbered in this one. He didn't have what I would consider to be a fair match or a level playing field in any way, because Paul Lee dangerously the entire time was getting in the ear of Bobby Eaton, who should have let that slide, but he couldn't. And at the end of the day, the cumulative total of the hot shot or the stun gun, call it what you will, followed up by that Thesz press, just too much for the champion to take.
Well, there you have it, brand new WCW champion.
And new WCW World Television Champion, Stunning Steve Austin.
Well, if his star was on the rise before, it's definitely shooting now. Stunning Steve Austin, your new WCW Television Champion. Fans, the Cruiserweight title is on the line next. Stay with us for Clash of the Champions. All right, fans, we are back. One of the most highly anticipated matches of the night.
Introducing the challenger from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 226 pounds, Flynn Brian Bill Mann.
All right, Flying Brian, the former Cruiserweight champion, trying to regain that title here tonight. It'll be a triple threat match. 3 men, 1 title. First pinfall or submission gets the title.
Flying Brian Pillman, he is electricity. He gets this crowd wound up like nobody else. And he definitely has the goods. He can make it happen here tonight, and we could very easily see a new champion crowned.
Here comes the next challenger.
And introducing the challenger from San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio.
The second leg of this triple threat right here, Rey Mysterio. More than capable of becoming the new champion here tonight as well. This is truly going to be a coin toss matchup. And here is the champion, Billy Kidman. Has to be the most nervous man in the room right now.
From Allentown, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 195 pounds, he is the WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Billy Kidman.
Well, when you're the champion in a match like this, you only have a 33.3% chance of retaining your title.
That means it's a 66.6% chance that he will not be the champion at the end of the night.
Not good odds. I wouldn't go to Vegas with those odds, although they're probably worse at Vegas. Kidman has had one impressive run here with that WCW Cruiserweight title. It can all come to an end, though, right here tonight at Clash of the Champions.
You got 3 guys in there, very hungry, very capable, all wanting the same thing.
All right, look at this. Brian Pillman wasting no time at all. Go right after the champion. Now Rey Mysterio steps back. Much like we saw Jimmy Garvin doing earlier tonight. Pillman now going to work on the arm of Rey Mysterio, takes him down, and thus far has been the Brian Pillman show.
Now the champion is the one sitting back and watching as the 2 challengers go at each other, and why wouldn't you?
Now, unlike our earlier match, this is not an elimination match, first pinfall or submission, so you do have to be ready to break up pinfalls and submissions. But yeah, if you can rest yourself in the meantime, I would say go and take advantage of that opportunity, no doubt about it. Down across the arm he goes. Big right hand, stunning him, and down he goes. Pillman rocked by the champion with that one.
Those stiff forearms, something that Billy Kidman is relying on heavily early on in this match. But why not? He had pretty good result.
Rey Mysterio, though, came up with a jawbreaker. Now, look at that. Crucifix attempt by Brian Pillman, and if he could have held him down, we might have had an upset. Pillman and Mysterio qualifying for this match based on big wins they had on WCW Worldwide. Each of them had to get past top-notch talent. Oh, kill switch! Rey Mysterio's in trouble!
Mysterio is out. He may be unconscious.
Right now it is just Billy Kidman. And Flying Brian, referee, might want to take a look. Oh, no, he's going to go for the cover. It's one-on-one. 1, 2.
Well, if he could have done that immediately, I think he would have won the match with it. But Mysterio had some time to recover. And that's the difference between a triple threat and a title match that we would traditionally see.
Brian Pillman better turn around. Rey Mysterio catches him with that Hurricane Rana. And now the champion knocks out Rey Mysterio. And now Kidman coming up with the answers. Brian Pillman just drove the head of the champion into the canvas. And Kidman rolls out to the floor. Here it is, sleeper hold. This was the move that Brian Pillman used to get here.
To a lot of people's surprise, it was. He didn't rely on the high flying. He wrapped up a quick sleeper hold and won a match in under 30 seconds.
Rey Mysterio, however, was able to get out of this one. And now Pillman from behind. Waist lock, but he couldn't hold on to the champion. Kidman with a stiff forearm right between the shoulder blades. Face first into the canvas he goes. Rey Mysterio now with a flying drop kick, and the champion goes down.
Mysterio's going to go for the cover. Pillman has to break it up if he can, but Kidman able to kick out on his own power.
Well, good thing, because Pillman just now getting up to his feet, and that would have been too little too late. If you're Billy Kidman, you've got to figure a way to isolate one of these men in the ring, another one outside the ring, and then take advantage of a big moment. But Kidman just got dropped on his back, and he's outside the ring. Look at this, Flying Brian going all the way to the top. Will he reclaim the Cruiserweight title? Mysterio coming up. Pillman missed.
He overshot his target.
He just dropped him down across the top rope. He thinks he has him.
Not quite yet. That was the best opportunity, though, in the match for either of these men.
Kidman is on the top rope. Pillman's laid out. Mysterio's laid out. What's he gonna do?
Well, the champion definitely thinking about his options, and God knows he's got a lot of time right now to think.
He drops the elbow right to the small of the back of Brian Pillman. Mysterio caught him. Oh, 619, and now Mysterio going to try to put it away.
Hooks the leg. He usually would have followed up with that big splash, but he doesn't this time.
And that's the reason why Kidman is still the champion. Had Mysterio followed up with that springboard, I think it would have been over. Pillman went for that single leg Boston Crab, too close to the rope, sit out face first into the canvas. Hooks the leg, and Pillman out on two. We are getting to that point in time, ladies and gentlemen, That moment where one of these men is going to make a mistake and somebody's going to capitalize and it's going to be over. Kidman with the kill switch, hooks the leg. Mysterio's not there. Pillman able to kick out.
Oh, and Kidman making the mistake. He forgot there's two opponents, not one.
Rey Mysterio now going to take advantage. Oh, and just barely out the back door, Billy Kidman. Fans, I'll tell you something right now. This one, too close to call. We knew it would be. Everyone has had their opportunities. Nobody's been able to get it done. Mysterio puts him into the turnbuckle, but he better watch out from behind. And now the champion turning the tables. And right back, Rey Mysterio. What the heck are they doing in that corner? Hurricane run on Brian Pillman, and now Kidman better turn around and pay attention.
Oh, that was a mistake.
A big mistake made right there. Mysterio has him. We might be looking at the new Cruiserweight champion. Again, he doesn't follow it up. Mysterio pulling back on the arm. Referee asking him if he wants to give it up.
Meantime, Brian Pillman on the apron, but he was spending a little too... Oh, what's he doing? Pillman!
Big mistake by Brian Pillman, nearly cost him. And now the referee taking out. Kidman just took out the referee.
Well, there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match. Perhaps Kidman felt that there was too much opportunity for him to lose the title at this moment.
That could definitely backfire on him, no doubt about it, because he finds himself in an opportunity to get a pinfall right now. There's no referee. And Mysterio just took Brian Pillman out. As the action continues to spill to the floor here. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the world title match going to be like? Rolling senton. Billy Kidman now. All three men outside the ring here. Rams the head of Brian Pillman into the ring apron.
Well, we all know that is the least forgiving portion of the ring. There is no give there, and that's like having your head run into a steel beam.
Pillman showing the after effects of having that done to him. And in the meantime, collar and elbow goes nowhere. Kidman with a perfect suplex right there on Rey Mysterio. Pillman has him up. And that's a textbook suplex right there on the champion. He believes he's got a beat. Here goes and hooks the leg. One. He's got two.
Probably going to have to do more than just a suplex on Billy Kidman to take that title away from him, but it's getting closer.
Oh, spine buster. The look on the face of Brian Pillman said it all. And now the champion going to work on Rey Mysterio. Mysterio coming up with a suplex. Make it two, and here comes the trifecta. the Three Amigos.
And that one really took a lot out of the champion Mysterio with a powerbomb. Shoulders.
Shoulders are down. Just missed having a new champion crowned right there. And now Mysterio is stunned. What a suplex right there by Brian Pillman. Single leg monkey flip taking Rey Mysterio all the way to the corner. And he's using those ropes just to get back up off the mat. Mysterio has nothing left in the tank. At this point, I think he's done. And Mysterio just got dropped off the apron. Pillman going to work on the trapezius area. Oh, and he's pulling back on him. Pillman trying to get him to submit. And Rey Mysterio breaks it up.
I'll tell you, that 33.3% starting to look pretty big right now.
Sunset flip by Rey Mysterio, driving the shoulders and the neck, and now a drop kick from behind on Brian Pillman. Mysterio once again sets his man up. 619, will he finish it? 1, 2. For some reason, Rey Mysterio fails to go for that springboard finish that would almost definitely assure him the title. And now the champion has been busted wide open. Look at the amount of blood he is losing.
I think the 33% just dropped to about 13%.
Well, right now you've got a couple of sharks in the water and they see blood. Mysterio putting Pillman out on the apron. And drops him out to the floor. Now Pillman is the target, I believe, for Rey Mysterio. And he missed. Pillman back in the ring with a bloody Billy Kidman. Oh, there's that sleeper hold again. No, he didn't get him.
Oh, I thought he got him to submit for a moment there, but Pillman survived somehow.
None of these men are going to be the same when it's over. The champion kicks out again. At this point, it's the heart carrying the body. Jawbreaker. Spine buster, nicely done by Kidman. Hooks the leg, that could be it. He got him.
What can you say about Billy Kidman that hasn't been said?
Probably the most deserving Cruiserweight champion of all time. He has not ducked a challenge, and even in matches like this tonight, where you have so little odds of retaining, he has put that title up and walked away with it.
Here is your winner, and still WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Billy Kidman.
As the blood flows down the face of Billy Kidman, he is still the WCW World Cruiserweight Champion. Fans, it is time for the main event. The World Heavyweight title on the line when we return. Stay with us.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
All right, fans. The United States Heavyweight Champion has long been considered the #1 challenger for the world title. And the United States Champion is the total package, Lex Luger. He has been a dominant United States Champion, and tonight he looks to take that next step and become once again the WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, one thing's for sure, we know he's capable of doing it. The real question is, what will he do to become the champion?
Well, we already know the answer to that, because we saw what he did to his best friend Sting just days ago. And as he said earlier tonight, that was a statement. As we get a look at the World Heavyweight Champion, Luger said, "If that's what I'll do to my best friend, what the heck do you think I'll do to you?" If you're the Nature Boy Ric Flair, that thought has to be echoing in your mind, I would think.
Well, indeed, it was a statement, and if you're Ric Flair, you're right, because they're not friends. He and Luger haven't been on the same page in well over a year and a half, and there's a lot of bad blood between Ric Flair and the total package, simple as that.
Indeed, Luger at one point in time, a member of the Four Horsemen, was deep in the fold with the Nature Boy Ric Flair, the world champion. But as they say, that was then, and this is now. Luger's in the ring. Oh, he just caught champion Ric Flair. He's not wasting any time. The title is on the mat. Flair yanking the ankle, and down goes Luger to the floor. Well, we knew this was personal. We knew this was going to be a brawl. Both men striking it out here outside the ring. Clothesline by the total package, Lex Luger, and he stands over the champion, who takes off his robe. The championship title still in the ring at this time.
Well, the referee's finally picked that up. Now he's got to figure out where he's going to put it. Slides it outside the ring, thankfully. Hopefully it won't come into play out there.
Flair sidesteps the challenger. Luger charges in. Clothesline. And the champion is down. The total package, Lex Luger. Referee's out. Luger, where's he going? He's got the belt. I don't think Flair realizes it yet. He's busy styling and profiling, but Luger's got that championship title. And Flair is back, swinging a miss by Luger. Flair going after the leg. Spinning toe hold. The total package.
Well, right now, Luger and Flair, there is no feeling out process, so to speak. These two men know each other very well.
Luger going out. Oh, there goes the referee again. Flair taking advantage, however. Boy, these two guys are really doing a number on one another. There's nobody there to make the count. Luger will now make it out after having plenty of time to regain himself. Flair ducks out the clothesline, drop toe, and Luger goes down face first.
And again, the referee having to dispatch that championship gold from the match.
There was a moment where I thought for sure Luger was going to use that belt. Back body drop, and the challenger goes down. Flair now dragging Luger over towards the middle of the ring. Butterfly suplex takes him all the way over. Almost took out the referee in the process.
Well, the total package, Lex Luger, is going to have to come up with something here.
Trying to turn the page right here, and now Luger. Overhead press slam, and the champion feeling it. Flair all the way out to the floor, and Luger follows him. Flair goes over the rail. He went into the crowd ringside here at Hershey. And now Luger ends up going ringside. The count continues to climb. Flair's in the ring. Luger beats it back.
Well, you know what? Hershey, Pennsylvania, this arena may not be big enough to hold these two men.
Flair with a pile driver on Luger. And now the back body drop. The Nature Boy Ric Flair comes back over to the challenger. And he goes for it, but he misses right there as he tried to go for a kick to the back. Luger with a Russian leg sweep. And now boot right to the back of the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Luger now working on the head and the neck area, putting a lot of torque on the champion.
Well, it's no secret Ric Flair has had a bad back for many years following a plane crash that he was fortunate to survive. Doctors said he'd never wrestle again. Well, joke's on them. He's the world heavyweight champion.
Well, right now, Luger stalking his prey. Oh, there's that forearm. Luger's got him in trouble. The champion is up. Oh, look out. The torture rack is on. Flair in trouble. Referee is right there. Flair desperate to get out of it, and he does.
Looked like Flair was trying to shoot the leg of Luger there.
Oh, these two men know each other so well. Flair and Luger back and forth. This one is gone. Another big elbow. And the champion is stunned. Oh, he caught Luger low. Pile driver. The total package is in trouble. And now the Nature Boy measures him for that big knee drop, and now hooks the leg. 1, 2, and Luger out the back door. Flair going for the gut wrench.
Almost looked like a bear hug attempt by Flair.
And now he attacks the knee. Ric Flair now working over the leg of Lex Luger. 1, Luger out the back door. Luger going around the ring, luring Flair over. And now Luger with Flair. Into the guardrail he goes. Flair is out on the floor. Luger waiting for Flair to get back up. Went for it. Into the steel steps. And now Luger. And Flair both counted out. Fans, that's a double count out.
Well, I gotta tell you, that's not what we were expecting to see here. Nothing settled between these two men, that's for sure.
Fans, we want to thank you for joining us here for Clash of the Champions. Stick around because a very special Ringside Report will be coming up next. Stay with us.
Got almost nothing in common.
Oh, it's about the hair. Don't say it.
Well, in any event, Hillbilly Jim doesn't have much in common with you.
All right, everybody, welcome to our Ringside Report, otherwise known as Open Mic Night here on the Nation. And obviously sad news coming out of the wrestling world with the passing of Mean Gene Okerlund. I think we can all say that that was one of the signature voices of the WWF back in the day. Also the AWA, but for some reason I think he'll always be remembered for his work in the WWF. No doubt in my mind about that. Thank you guys so much for checking out the broadcast. And I'm just trying to catch up on a lot of the comments. I really didn't get to keep up with them at all tonight because there was so much going on behind the scenes here with buttons and stuff. So shout outs to everybody that I know was here. Benjamin, Corey, Theo, always a pleasure. Samuel, I appreciate you, buddy. Samuel, So far as finding a better version of Harlem Heat and the community creations, that's all good. Anybody can get what they want. This is the creations that I personally made, so I feel that they are fine. So I'm going to stick with my guys. Let's see. School Jackson, thank you, buddy. The Dan Man Train, thanks for being in the house. John Wesley, always a pleasure, sir. GCW, GCW, GCW. Prime Time. What's up, my man? Let's see. He got a bunch of stuff going on. What did I miss? Well, you have to go back and watch that. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to talk about New Year's Eve. I worked it and it sucked, okay? That's what New Year's Eve was. It was a shitty New Year's Eve, but that doesn't mean anything. The rest of the year could be perfectly fine. Rico Cochrane. Jeez, you got to be careful how you pronounce that name. Thank you for being here. Eric B. Always a pleasure, my friend. All in the reflexes. Gregory Davis. And I think that covers everybody who commented in one way or another. So thank you guys so much for that. Obviously, Mean Gene seems to be the theme of a lot of the commentary, which I expected it would be. And if you missed the beginning of the stream, you might want to go check that out. I did a little tribute there. And we had a special guest stop in to do a little brief talk about Mean Gene. Of course, Jesse the Body showed up, I think, the second match in. Let's see. Eric B. Check Doom's locker. They must be on some Chinese sci-fi drugs. Way overpowered. Well, here's the thing. They're not so overpowered. It's like friggin' Woman just keeps on interrupting at the right time. So between Woman interrupting the referee 3 or 4 times during would-be pinfalls, and then one half of Doom interfering and breaking up pinfall attempts, they just have 2-to-1 advantages when it comes to breaking things up. And they're taking advantage of those. Oh, the Scott Steiner math promo. It is legendary. If you've not seen it, you must. Look it up on YouTube. It's funny as hell. I did happen to catch that one when I glimpsed over at the chat board. I didn't have a chance to type in a response. So, yeah, that kind of worked its way into my broadcast. And that's what I try to do. If you guys post something up here that I can use, then I will try to feed it in the first chance I get if I can make it work with everything. Flair against Luger, best of 7 series. God, that would be a classic, would it not? Definitely something to look at. I can see Flair Luger in a cage. Prime time, you were working too? Yeah, well, man, I'll tell you right now. I've worked New Year's Eve probably in the last 8 years, 6 of them, which is not a big deal for me because if I'm not working, I'm not going out. I ain't dealing with the nuts. So it doesn't bother me. Other people at my job need the night off or whatever. They got families and all that. I'll work it. No big deal. This is the first one I dealt with where all shit just kept breaking loose. I mean, I've been doing the same job, generally speaking, different resorts, but, you know, the same general company and all that kind of stuff. And one thing about New Year's Eve, people go, they have their, you know, good time, whatever, and then it usually clears out pretty quickly. You know, by 12:30, 1 o'clock, the fun is over. Damn fun started the minute I walked in the door at 11 p.m., and it did not stop. Everything from a suicide overdose attempt, which turned out not to be even existing. So it was like a prank call or some shit, but had us running around for 90 minutes looking for a body. It just went on and on from there. It was just a series of stupid and annoying and then understaffed because who called out sick. So, yeah, New Year's Eve sucked this year. I manage a resort. That's about as much as I want to talk about that in detail, but I manage a pretty big resort. And like I said, this is the first year it's been this kind of a challenge. Up until now, it's just generally been, I don't know, okay. You know, we have our drunk people, but not too bad, and everyone has a good time, eventually goes to bed, and that's it. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, dude, you got all the respect in the world for me. There's probably 2 jobs in this world I would never entertain, being a cop and working at 7-Eleven, especially during the overnight hours. And I'd probably put Denny's and IHOP right up there with that as well, because the clientele you get after midnight, and I know, man, I used to run DJ shows and karaoke shows in a really busy tourist area. And when we were done with the shows, me and the regulars and all that stuff, we'd get together and we'd go to Denny's. And we were cool, but we'd see the ones that would walk in that weren't part of our entourage. And damn, they were some annoying sons of bitches, and they were drunk off their asses. And, well, here's the thing. In our company, you get holiday pay, whether you work the holiday or don't work it, in the sense that if you're scheduled to work it, you have to work it. But if it's your day off normally and you're not working it, you still get paid for it. The only way you will lose that holiday pay, which is a whole extra day's pay, so basically you're getting paid twice for working one day. The only way you will lose that is if you do not show up the day before, or the shift before, the shift of, and or the shift after. So that means basically you have to come into work your scheduled shift prior to the holiday. If you're scheduled for the holiday, you have to, of course, work it. And then the next shift after the holiday, you have to work. If you miss any of those three, you lose the money. So generally speaking, when people call out they're sick, I'm just saying, when you're on the third shift hours, which somebody asked earlier in the stream about, does he work overnights? Yes, I work overnights, but all the streams are not overnight anymore. They used to be. But I've done quite a few during the daytime hours because I know other people don't get to see the overnights live, and they wanted to be part of the live experience, so I've mixed it up a little bit more. So make sure you have that bell icon clicked so that you get the alerts when I go live, and this way, if I do one during the day that's more convenient for you, you won't have to miss it. Thank you, Gregory. I appreciate that. I'm having fun with them. I wish the game was a little bit better. So, part of the challenges with this game right now for me, of the many, if I were to, they give you these nice new options, it appears, that you can make it even a little bit cooler than last year's experience, where you can book run-ins and stuff like that, then they don't work. So the one run-in that has never worked yet, and I've tried it letting the computer, the AI go head-to-head. I've done it where I've played the one character of the two, or team of the two, is the fact that you can book a run-in after the match. And I've booked run-ins after the match, and not one time has one run in after the match. So I don't know if that's just one of the many 2K glitches that they haven't figured out, or if they're never going to fix it. AEW, that's, I guess you could say up and coming if you want to. They're here in Florida, and I've only seen a little bit of them. What I've seen hasn't been bad. I did watch, I think it might have been you that was recommending the War Games that they did, which actually was pretty good. I mean, I bought the War Games match, which, guys, if you haven't checked it out, it's on YouTube. It was actually a pretty good match. Arguably better, definitely better than the first one that NXT did. Maybe not as good as the last one, but definitely better than the first, hands down. So it was good. Dan the man. Oh, man. Can't afford to have too much fun while on the clock. Isn't that a sucky job where they won't let you have fun on the clock, huh? Now, I don't want no one losing their job over it, man. I know our esteemed colleague was watching all the time from work overnights. He has a similar style job as mine. And, yeah, all the time he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm at work, man. I'm just killing time. And that's cool, because sometimes if I'm having a bad night, or a slow night, I should say, which doesn't happen that often, but if it's getting like really boring, 2 hours of absolutely nothing happening, and I've got all my stuff pretty much together, yeah, I'll check out other people's streams that are going live, whether it's this game or other games. And, yeah, I haven't done as much with this one lately, simply because I've been so absorbed with Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm getting to the point now where I'm done with the story finally. I thought that ending was never going to come around. MLW had War Games. Okay. All right, well, then I'm confusing. I was thinking of MLW then with the War Games match, which was really good. AEW I may not be familiar with then. And I'm obviously not familiar with because I thought that was who they were. All Elite Wrestling, Luger, Cody, and Young. Oh, I heard something. All Elite Wrestling. Look, I don't know. I don't watch much of today's product at all. I've even slipped on watching the NXT, which I always liked, and I'm sure I would still like if I watch it. There's only so many hours in a day. And again, Red Dead really did dominate me for the last several weeks. But I'm finally to the point, like I said, I've completed the story. I still like exploring. I'm now doing stuff I never did during the Reign campaign, which, I'm robbing stores and stuff and trying to pull it off without getting caught. And that sometimes that works and sometimes it don't. Yeah, they're about to start up. I was briefly reading something about it, Craig. I'm really not the expert on it by any stretch. Look, if I'm going to base it on All In, I would really hope they're going in a different direction. All In was not good. It just wasn't good. The best thing that happened for me with All In was my cable company screwed around and messed me up where I had no internet for like 2 days, and they ended up having to give me $30 credit, and that paid for the pay-per-view at the end of the day, so I got it for free is the way I look at it. What billionaire is financing them? Here's the thing. If I'm a billionaire, I guess you could afford a tax write-off if it fails. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I say. If Joey Ryan's in, I'm out. Joey Ryan, I'm sorry, man. There's just nothing about him that I consider talent. He's mediocre in the ring at best. He is not good on a microphone. The whole porn gimmick is so bad. And what they did to All In was a travesty. So well, Gregory, I can tell you that NXT, I do shows, not as often, and that's all on the Twitch channel, and you can find the link down below in the description box, because that's where the majority of the Rise and current-day roster stuff takes place. One of the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tony Khan is his name. And Tony's got to have a lot of money to be wanting to do something like this. So his son is the owner. See, all right, so already, there we go. Jericho and Junior are going to be part of it. What kind of part of it? The roster part of it? Because they're both pushing 50. Had you crying when the game was messing up. That doesn't narrow it down much. It seemed like it messed up a few times, man. Oh, Jim Ross, I'm sorry. This is what I'm saying. Right now, everything you're telling me tells me I don't want to watch it. Jim Ross, God bless him. He is a permanent fixture in professional wrestling history and deserves to be remembered that way. But you cannot listen to him call matches on New Japan and tell me that isn't a shadow and a shell of the man and the announcer that he was. I would love to have him backstage booking, but if he's going to be on mic, nope. And again, if Jericho and JR have those types of roles, then yeah, I think that's a smart move. Now, I'd be curious to know what the relationship might be with Jim Cornette and like Cody Rhodes and things of that nature. I would love to see Cornette's mind working backstage, man. See, now, if you were to get Dolph Ziggler, that's a big one. That's a legitimate name who has not been used. It would be like Shane Douglas in ECW. Shane Douglas was only used right by Paul Heyman, and that's it. WCW never did shit with him right. other than that tag team title run, but then they didn't build off of that, so that, to me, was not using him right. And God knows Dean Douglas was a brutal failure. But Paul Heyman made him the franchise, and that is what he should have been doing for years after in WWF, and they blew it and they dropped it. I get the whole Vince wants to create his own characters crap, but man, you so missed the mark with what you could have done with that guy. But again, if the Young Bucks and Cody are there, they're also going to have to be performing. Well, yeah, it all comes down to the right people. I mean, take a look at Impact. They've had the wrong people for decades now. Somehow they always find a way. As Shawn Michaels said, it's like that one little nugget that just won't go down, you know? TNA is that nugget. Well, there's a lot of rumors about Omega, and that includes WWF rumors or WWE rumors. It's going to be interesting, no doubt about it. Hey, listen, I want someone to come along that does it right, and someone that comes along and creates a watchable product. It's just so hard to do that anymore because the curtain has been pulled back so far that, I mean, honestly, do any of you ever watch a match anymore where you start to think for a moment that you lose yourself in the match as some sort of a competition, a competitive event? Or do you just watch it like you'd watch the ballet to see how well these people dance together? Because that's really all I see anymore. And it took the fun out of it when, you know, we all knew they weren't really stomping each other's heads because they'd be dead if you did. But there was also some element of, you know, they may pull up on this stuff, but I think that's legit. Or I don't, you know, you kind of felt like maybe the pinfall wasn't predetermined. But now that's all gone. I was watching Impact again for a few weeks just to see, because I hear good things, and I wasn't impressed a whole lot with what I saw. It was definitely better than the last time I saw it, which is going back to Bobby Lashley. And that was like a 2-week run that I watched, and I said, nah, this is just not something I need to be watching. The only thing I can say that I enjoy about TNA today is Tessa Blanchard, and that's about it. Well, the WWE needs competition, no doubt about it. And their problem is they don't understand that. They're not learning anything. They say they are. They say they're going to reset and start over again and blah, 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 blah. Yet you still have half-empty arenas. Nobody's watching your weekly program. All-time low in Monday Night Raw ratings. So, yeah, I mean, at this point in time, you have to start looking at contracts like Lesnar and Ronda Rousey and wonder how much longer those are going to exist. Yeah, prime time. I have been saying that for a decade, dude. And I've booked it here on the show. That's what Rise Wrestling really is all about. I just used a different name. But it would have been WCW. If I were booking for WWE today, everything you see going on with Rise is what I would be doing, only I'd be using the WCW banner. Shane legitimately bought the company, you know, storyline-wise. Back when the last episode aired, all of a sudden he comes back with the contract and says, hey, I'm exercising my rights. On Tuesdays, we're going to have WCW. Boom. And then you have to do a legitimate brand split. And Vince has to have zero say in it. Yeah, Gargano-Ciampa was really good. It was a good feud, no doubt about it. Good matches. And NXT is by far their more superior product. And that's why when they say we're going to bring in new faces, that's not the problem. You brought in new faces. Then you fucking squashed them. You had the Ascension. They were the dominant tag team in the world of professional wrestling. And then you brought them on to Monday Night Raw. What'd you do? You jobbed them out to a couple of 54-year-olds. And that is the other part of the problem, is they have a champion that doesn't defend the title. I liked it in the beginning because Heyman did put the good rub on it that, you know, a real championship wouldn't be defended every week. It wouldn't be defended 3 times a week at different shows across the country. It would be once every few months, and it was must-see TV. And that's the way it was when you were Mike Tyson, and that's the way it was when you were Randy Couture. This is wrestling, though, and we know it's wrestling. And you want me to go out to a house show, no TV, and you're going to tell me the champ's not going to be there? No, thank you. Yeah, nobody has had any luck wearing that belt, have they, Theo? And even to that point, Finn Balor, one of the early on winners and holders of that title, who would have done good things with it, I believe, legitimately injured in that match, finished the match, and then comes back from injury and never really gets the push. I don't get it. I mean, you've taken a guy who was so over and made him so not. Was Finn the first? I can't remember now. I think he was the first one, right? I really, really like Valentine Dream, and I just know that the minute he leaves NXT, I'm not going to like him anymore because they're just going to have him doing dance-offs in the ring with Carmella or something. Finn was the first. Okay, yeah. That injury, Jesus, man. See him pop his shoulder back in the way he did. Finish the match. That's why no matter what anybody wants to say about wrestling being fake, I'll say this. You can call it fake if you want to, but you show me a guy in the NFL pop his shoulder back in and go out and play the rest of the game. You show me an NBA player, falls on the back of his head, takes a concussion, gets up and finishes the game. If you're saying Tyler Black, yeah. I don't know. Never been a big fan. See, that's my point, Craig. That has always been the ongoing thing, that you have a champion must defend the title every 30 days. It's wrestling. And that's right. Triple H has done it twice. Well, not. What about the Peck? And that's now in his 50s. Watching that match was painful because, man, he couldn't do anything with that one arm. I think it was the right arm, right? Yeah, because he was doing everything left-handed, and it just looked so bad. And if you want to talk about pulling the curtain back, when you see Triple H clearly in pain, one arm slingshot Kane across the ring with his left arm, as if that would ever possibly happen. My problem with Cole is he is way too fucking small. He is just too small to be taken serious. And I like EC3 better now than I did back in the early days when he was going by his real name, or whatever name they had at that time. I watched him a little bit in TNA and said, well, you know what? Maybe they did drop the ball with this kid, because while I'm still not loving him, he's got a lot more talent than I ever saw out of him in WWE. And that's the first time I ever saw TNA take talent from the WWE that they turned into something better than it was. Normally, they just rated it and used it for what it already had been. So EC3 was definitely one of those rare, probably the only time where they took talent that wasn't raised by them and did something better with it. Ricochet's another guy. I don't care for him personally, watching him in ring. I'm sure he's a great guy, nothing against him. I just don't, his matches don't make me say I got to watch this. And he's too small to be serious. Mean Gene. Geez, when I think of him immediately, SummerSlam interview with Rick Rude where the plaque falls off the wall. Fuck it. And they cut away. And me and my friends looked at each other. Did he just say fuck it? But, man, there's a lot of Mean Gene memories. And that's the thing about it. I mean, there were aspects of him that I didn't care for so much. That whole Legends House thing, he's kind of being a little pervy on the girl host a lot of times. And that was kind of like, you dirty old man. Of course, she was hot as shit. I can't totally blame him. But I liked it when he tagged up with Hogan for that one match against, I think, Giorgiano and Mr. Fuji. The training sessions were funny as hell. There was one interview, gosh damn it, who did he do it with? I want to say Macho Man. I could be wrong. Where, whoever it was said something that, startles him, where he kind of does his little overplay with the microphone where he kind of juggles it for a moment. And whoever it was says, what is that, a vibrator you're holding? And they stuck with the interview, and you see him hiding his face because he's trying not to crack up. But, I mean, the stuff he did with Hogan was just gold. I mean, it was, yin and yang right there. He was as much a Hulkamania as Hulk Hogan was Hulkamania. The two of them really were catalysts for one another. And it was good stuff. I remember going into WrestleMania when MTV was, putting all these packages together. And then, like, 2 days before WrestleMania, they had a 2-hour special where they put all the things together. And it had the war for all, the war to settle the score, and the brawl for all, and all packaged together. And you had this one thing that you hadn't seen on regular television, only on the MTV program at the time, and that was where Piper and Orndorff were doing their clandestine practices and regimen, getting ready for the biggest event of all time, WrestleMania. And he goes in there, and they're lifting weights and all that, and there's Orndorff. And it's like, you're not even supposed to be in here, man. I don't think you're going to intimidate me for one moment. You won't. Oh, really? And then Piper's like, oh, we're not. Okay. And they end up throwing it. But there was that one moment where we actually thought Mean Gene going to get his ass kicked. WrestleMania 5. Let me see. 6 was where Hogan loses to the Warrior. 5 was what, Slaughter? Where they had to go from a stadium to an arena? Are we talking about afterwards where Hogan gets lit on fire, or a different interview? I'm not thinking of what interview specifically he did with Hogan during WrestleMania 5. But yeah, Gene just had a ton. And him and Bobby Heenan were gold together. And when you start looking at these list of names that are joining the ranks in heaven, it's just what a program must be going on up there. Yeah, Mean Gene during the garbage storm, no doubt about it. That was a big one. Oh, yeah, 5 was the Mega Power Meltdown. That's right. Then 6 was Hogan and the Warrior. And what was it? Slaughter? That's right, because Slaughter takes the title from the Warrior, so then 7 would have been the arena show in L.A. The Mega Powers explode. And then they always had those WrestleMania countdown shows. Usually it was Sean Mooney, but occasionally you'd have Mean Gene doing those. So he's got to be missed, but you know what? We've got a lot of great memories, and if anything, I always think to myself as we all get older, we start thinking, I think, a little bit differently about how you want to be remembered for whatever it is you've done. And if you can be remembered the way I think a lot of us are remembering Mean Gene right now, then you did something right. If people are remembering the good times, and if they're remembering you thinking of how you made them feel better or gave them entertainment in their lives, because God knows there's never enough of that, then I think you've done something. I'm not familiar with the one where he tells off the Natural Born Thrillers. I often wonder what he'd have been like to work with backstage. He seems a little pompous to me, I'm not going to lie. He's always struck me as pompous. Well, I would imagine the wrestlers would love him, man. He was great at getting them over. I mean, geez, no one's going to say he didn't do his job right. But even back in the 80s, I wasn't a big fan, simply because I felt like he was always shouting. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, we have a capacity crowd on hand here tonight. It's like, dude, relax. We got it. But that was his style, and at the end of the day, that's the soundtrack to a lot of the best wrestling matches that I ever watched. I liked it when he and, or I take it back, when Gorilla Monsoon and Gene would do some Madison Square Garden shows occasionally together. It was usually Gorilla and Jesse or Gorilla and Monsoon, or Gorilla and Bobby the Brain. But they got to that one point where there was a lot of filling. Gorilla was the constant for Madison Square Garden shows. And then they would substitute color guys. So you'd have Bobby the Brain, you'd have Jesse Ventura, you would have Mean Gene. The guy who I can't believe ever had a job broadcasting anything ever was Lord Alfred Hayes. He was god-awful. I think that was part of the reason they called him Awful Alfred. Can't say that 3 times fast. Look at the original WrestleMania, and they've even got it up pretty much intact now on the network, where they included the in-between match interviews with Lord Alfred Hayes. And my God, he's a bumbling guy. He just could not get words out. Yeah, I love Gorilla and Bobby the Brain. Well, you know what? The interviewers today, it's just different. The whole product is different. And unfortunately, it's not better different. It's just different. So, I don't know. It's like you want to say something and then you don't know what to say at the same time. It's just, hopefully, you know, like I said, this AEW thing does something, and hopefully they're able to, you know, bring some form of wrestling back that is more palatable than the stuff we have today. But what we have today is just really, really bad. Other than NXT. I keep coming back to NXT, and I find that good. I haven't watched. I don't even know if it's still on. I'm presuming it is. Lucha Underground. I was watching that quite a bit, but I don't anymore. But I enjoyed it. I'll say that. I did like it. Yeah, it is pretty much scripted at this point, no doubt about it. And I guess in the old days, they did listen to the fans. Clearly, they did. Why do you think Bruno was champion 8 years? Because he was selling fucking tickets. That's why. And they didn't say, okay, you're going to like Bruno Sammartino. They let the fans determine they like Bruno Sammartino. The same way they let the fans choose Hulk Hogan as the American Patriot that was going to take the title from the Iron Sheik. The same way they let the fans determine that the Iron Sheik was the son of a bitch. Well, I haven't watched Lucha in a while now. It's been a good year at least. Maybe even a little bit more. And I have not seen All In at all. Well, the pay-per-view, if you're talking about the pay-per-view, Lucha is just 100% better than everything All In did because it's all original. They don't harken back on, you know, watching All In was basically like watching that Legends of Wrestling pay-per-view years before. That's all I felt like I was watching. And Lucha, to me, when I have watched it, was good writing. I mean, obviously they were like daytime soap opera scenes, but the acting was actually good. The scripting was pretty good. As I recall, they were doing something stupid with Joey Ryan, too, where he's a detective or some shit. But I would definitely say that the Lucha product that I watched versus the All-In product that I watched, it's no comparison. Lucha's 100% better. Just based on that. WWE fucking dropped the ball on Morrison so bad. I mean, if you can tell me The Miz is a former world champion, multi-time Intercontinental champion, and Morrison never did shit, then that tells me someone doesn't know their job. Morrison had the look. He has the moves. I've heard better promos. I've heard worse. But if you're going to put your money behind the machine, then it wouldn't have done you no harm to go with that guy. I didn't even know the NWA tried a pay-per-view, and I'm not surprised to hear that. You rock on too, buddy. Morrison's girlfriend's a woman. Who's he dating? I'm guessing someone in NXT, or not NXT, TNA. Yeah, Tessa Blanchard, like I said earlier, that's the only thing about TNA that I personally like. Although I guess I should change that and include Johnny Mundo. Or what are they calling him? Johnny Impact. Poor guy, man. He's got to be confused. He hasn't had the same last name for more than 2 years. What I've seen of MLW, I do like. I don't really watch them on a weekly basis. I probably should look at them a little bit more. I did subscribe. But what I've seen of them, I do like. The Botchmania about what? The top talent that WWE didn't follow through on? Yeah, I saw. If that's what you're talking about, I saw that recently. And they had some good names in that list of guys that were supposed to get there and just didn't. But a lot of it had good reasoning behind it. Like, for example, Billy Gunn didn't, they were going to give him a big singles push. And at the end of the day, they really didn't, because even back then, he was bullying people in the locker room and stuff like that. I mean, look, I like the New Age Outlaws and the DX thing as much as anybody. It was entertaining as all hell. Good personalities come across on screen. But when you find out that your track record is that backstage you're a complete dick to your coworkers, then that's, the outcome is what it is. Now, I'm sure he doesn't give a shit he hasn't been world champion. I'm sure he got paid pretty well. It's just unfortunate that, you can't be good and get over the fans. And, like Cena. Cena's just a good guy. Who needs a bad haircut? Or a haircut badly? Oh, I have no idea, man. If I could tell the future, dude, I'd be getting 6 lucky numbers on Saturday night. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this owner. If Cody and the boys are in charge, I have to base it solely off of All In, which isn't really fair necessarily, but that's the only thing I've seen them do in the position of running a company, and it wasn't good. And I've watched it back a second time as best I could to see if, all right, maybe I was in the wrong frame of mind. Maybe my expectations were a little too high. I don't know. But no, it just wasn't good. Oh, you were at the WCW half-filled show? Did you have to pay for your tickets prime time, or were they the free ones they give out? Oh, yeah, I forgot Cena's got a new finisher now, doesn't he? Totally forgot about that because we don't see him anymore. Yeah, that haircut, and he says he's doing it on purpose to piss us off. So, well done, Johnny. I was a little surprised. I just saw the clip of him and my girl there in the ring going at it, I guess on SmackDown, was it? And I was a little surprised that he was bringing up the Nikki Bella dumping me kind of stuff, or that was being used in general, even by Becky. I don't know that John Cena's moves of doom are going to outrank a Mortal Kombat move, personally. I can't see Cena being a heel. It'd be like Ricky Steamboat being a heel. It just does not work. I mean, you can try it, you can do it, but don't be surprised if it doesn't succeed. Look, the day for that to come and to happen has come and gone. It could have been good. The guy's barely wrestling now. Why bother turning him heel? It makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, even when Hogan did it, he still had another 5 to 7 years, 5 years, you could say, that he could still go. So you had something to do with it. Cena, I mean, he maybe physically can do another 5 years, but he won't, and I don't blame him. He's done it. Now is the time. Walk away. You got your money. God knows he's spent it well. He's invested money. He's got homes that are worth money that he could easily sell for a profit. And who knows what's sitting in the bank account. So, well, good, because I don't see that happening. WWE's got part-time wrestlers or on-call wrestlers. Well, they have a part-time champion. But that's the contract they signed, so they knew what they were getting. I think they're starting to see with the drop-off in numbers across the house shows, the viewing television audience. I think they're starting to realize this formula is not working. So, Brock, you want the money? That's fine, but you got to wrestle like everybody else. Or, honestly, the Brock Lesnar thing, it's done. It's no longer what it was. Not to say he can't still be a top performer, not to say that he's not still a great wrestler. He is. But this whole shared UFC, WWF thing, not going to work. It's not working. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining me here for the wrap-up here after what I think was a pretty successful Clash of the Champions. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. In the meantime, I am going to sign off for right now. We'll see you next time right here ringside when we do this thing all over again. In the meantime, we're going to leave you with a little bit more of Mean Gene here on the Nation Network.
Knows how to love you, yes indeed, but brother, don't know what you're doing.